Hey boo, welcome back to the Slay Girl Slay YouTube channel. My name is Ashley and I am the founder of Slay Girl Slay and host of the Slay Girl Slay podcast. And I'm super glad that you're here. I have learned more times than I'd like to admit that when you place your expectations into people and things, your feelings will ultimately get hurt. Straight like that. If you are putting an expectation on something or someone to deliver back to you what you need, or whatever it is that you're asking for, you are essentially doing yourself a major disservice. And here's why. When I'm working on a project for SGS and engaging in business or starting a relationship with someone platonically or intimately, or working with a brand, naturally, I am putting the expectation in that thing or that person or that brand that I will get back whatever it is that I'm pouring into it. Right? So in my mind, and this is just how my mind thinks, if I'm treating someone a certain way, let's say a friend or a boyfriend or whoever, if I'm giving them high quality Ash, I am expecting high quality friend or high quality boyfriend back. If I'm working with someone for work and I'm giving them high quality work ethic, really? If I'm working with someone for work and I'm giving high quality work ethic or spending my high quality dollars at someone's fine establishment, I'm expecting high quality product or high quality service in return. Fortunately, that only happens in a perfect world, boo. And unfortunately, neither you or I reside there. And when those expectations are not met, we get our feelings hurt and we're mad, sad, and ready to fight somebody because the exchange wasn't even. But here's the thing about expectations, boo. Expectations triggers our faith, right? When we are expecting something to work out or for someone to reciprocate what we give to them, we're putting our faith into something to work out that maybe wasn't supposed to work out to begin with. You know? And I understand that may be a bit harsh because essentially you should expect your friends, your family, people that you know, people that you work with to treat you how you treat them. You should expect whatever you're working on to be perfect and to thrive and to flourish the way that you want it to. But the moment that it does not go the way that we want it to go, or that person does not act the way that we expect them to act, we're the ones that's messed up because it's not what we were expecting. You see where I'm going? This is a very hard lesson that I've had to learn, and I am still learning, literally to this day, that a lot of times things will not go the way that you want them to, boo. People, work, business, that's life. We have carved out these perfect roadmaps to the destinations we want to get to in our minds, but excluding out all the bumps, pit stops, and detours that we may have to take on the way there. Somebody walk, get out my window, mind your business. People always I record right in front of my window and people are always on walks and they stop and like stare in the window like, mind your business. When I first got let go from my job back in 2020, I was so upset that it didn't work out the way that I had planned. I was angry that my superiors just made this decision that affected my life. Managers that I had given my best work to, right? I was hurt and frustrated and worried for my future because I put all this work into getting to that point and the bottom fell out. But after some time, I realized it had to happen. That's life, boo. And I wish it wasn't that way. I wish things worked out exactly how we planned for them to. I wish when we expected something from someone or our jobs or relationships that we get exactly what we wanted in return all the time. And it just doesn't happen like that, boo. My thought for today, boo, is we can get very much wrapped up into ourselves, right? And forget that the only person, place, or thing we should put our expectations in is yourself and God alone. And y'all, I am no pastor by any means, and I am no expert. And the only thing I can do is share with you my experience. And in that experience, I know that there has never been a time where God has failed me, like ever. Now, I'm not saying that I haven't got my feelings hurt a time or two. Not saying that in the moment I was questioning if God had let me down, because I definitely did question. I definitely was hurt. But after the fact, when it all passes, I realized it had to happen, because what I was seeking Him for was not for me, and only He knew the plans that He had for me. I do know that when I start placing my faith in other people or things, that's when I get disappointed. That's when I get upset and angry, and I stop holding the door for people because I'm walking around with this chip on my shoulder and I got an attitude all the time because things aren't going the way that I want them to. But only when I put my expectations in God and start saying, you know what, Lord, you do you. You know what? I have no control over this. You handle it. God, I really want this to happen in my life, but only if it's your will. You do this. That's when I have my best days, boo. That's when I feel like I come out on top, because I do. When I used to deal with F-boys, used to, because the way that my life and goals are set up now, I don't have time. But when I used to deal with guys like that, and when things didn't work out, I'd be so sad and upset. But deep down, I know in my heart that they were not for me. And I'd pray to God and say, you know what? I must be blind, Lord, because I thought this was the one. But He's clearly not, and I desire your will above mine. So whatever you have for me, put me in the position to receive that. I know y'all are like, Ash, you have to have expectations of people or places or things. You just have to. But the reality is, boo, you really don't. And I mean that in the nicest way possible. Just because they're your parents, that does not mean that you should expect them to take care of you for the rest of your life, right? Just because you're related to this person, that does not mean you should expect them to support you, support your endeavors, help you chase your dreams. Just because you have a job, hello Ash, does not mean that you should expect them to keep you as an employee and not let you go whenever they decide to, even if you are doing a good job. You feel me? You cannot put your faith into a job, a business, or whatever materialistic project that you are working on, boo. Your faith has to go through God, or whatever God means to you, because He knows your heart and He knows your desires. And if you desire that business, if you desire that type of relationship, you have to go through Him first, boo. And all things shall be added unto you. I am learning to meet people exactly where they are with my expectations. I allow their actions to set my expectations of them, which is merely no true expectation at all. If someone is consistently in and out of my life, or always drops the ball with something, always disappoints me in some way, I relinquish that expectation I have of them, and I meet them where they are. I make a mental note that this is where this person is right now. This is what this person did or said, and it is not a reflection of who I am, but just where they are in their lives. And then I keep it pushing. No love lost, no grudges held. As women, I think we can really change the game if we start checking our expectations at the door. We will spend a lot less time worrying and being confused and trying to figure it out if we already know what our expectations are of the people and the things that we choose to work with in our lives, both personal and professional. When you find yourself expecting things to go a certain way, flip it around, boo, and put the expectation on yourself. I expect myself to go about this situation next time in this way. I expect myself to handle this job this way from now on. I expect myself to boss up and go after my dreams and goals the way that I know that I was born to do. And I expect God and God alone to see me through. Okay, boo, if no one else told you this today, I am proud of you. I believe in you, and there is truly nothing you can't do if you don't put your mind to it. Wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful rest of your day. Have a beautiful rest of your week, boo. But always remember, it costs nothing to be kind. Show up, and show out today, and be the best you that only you can be. We'll chat soon, boo. Peace.